Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.
Okay, Matthew, can you tell me about this rezoning that's happening in Dubbo on Narromine Road?
13L Narromine Road, we've resolved at the last council meeting to support this rezoning application. So it's over about 23 hectares of land, and essentially we're changing it from R2, which is a low density residential zoning, to an R1. Now there's still a fair few steps to go through in this process, but essentially what we've done at this stage, councillors have done, is we've supported this rezoning application. It will then go through to the Department of Planning and Environment for their endorsement, and again they may have some issues with it, they may stop it going any further, but if assuming it goes through from there, it will then go on public exhibition, and then after all of that process, and eventually if the rezoning occurs, that doesn't mean automatically that the block sizes in that development will change. It's then subject to a development application the way any normal application for housing stock would be. The reason that councillors have supported this rezoning application is all about diversity in the stock, the land stock that is available in Dubbo. And one of the issues we have, which is a very exciting issue to have, is that lots of people want to move to Dubbo. But the problem with that is we don't have enough housing for them. So we need to have more housing, but more importantly, what we've seen is more variety of housing. And this particular rezoning will allow the land size, the block size, to go down as small as 300 square metres. Now, I doubt very much that this developer would then make an entire estate of blocks of 300 square metres. The idea is to have some diversity there. There might be some land they have in there for dual occupancy, or what might have been called duplexes in the past, or maybe some small units, some small apartments, maybe some blocks that are slightly larger than 600 or 800 square metres, and maybe some as small as 300 square metres. But the idea of this is it gives the developer full flexibility to have that range of different land sizes in there, a range of different housing stock, and that obviously gives you a range of different prices in the estate as well. So I think this is what we're going to see more and more of in Dubbo, Sam, as we go forward, because we need more housing, we need more variety of housing stock.
Yes, and I think obviously we're facing here two major issues, worker shortage and housing shortages, and hopefully this rezoning and rethinking in regard to diversity of housing will help solve both those issues in various ways.
And they go hand in hand, Sam. You are spot on. We do have a problem with enough skilled workers. Talk to many employers in the Dubbo region and they'll be talking about the fact that they need more employees. But obviously those employees need somewhere to live. So housing is an important part of that. One of the things I think that scares people a little bit, especially people that have been in regional areas for a long period of time, they get a little bit scared about the whole idea that you've got all these small blocks, and they think of the block they might live on. They might have a 1,600 square metre block, they might have a 1,000 square metre block, and a 300 square metre block scares them. They think that that sounds like a terrible idea. But having said that, some of it comes down to affordability as well. And so if you had those smaller block sizes, obviously you're going to have smaller houses on those smaller blocks. And for some people, that's all they can afford. We know house prices have gone up quite dramatically. We've had incredible increases in house prices in Dubbo, in the Dubbo region, over the last few years. In particular, the pandemic really pushed some house prices up. We've seen house prices go up by as much as 25% in 1 year. So that does present an affordability problem for many people. That variety of housing stock can help address some of that affordability as well.
Exactly. Now, does this rezoning set a precedent?
I'm not sure in exactly which way it might set a precedent. What it will probably do for developers, it will probably say that Dubbo Regional Council is open to different ideas from developers about how they might do development. So a traditional development that might have happened 10 years ago, developers that might have done that 10 years ago might think that maybe there are different ways to do things. So I'm not sure if it's a precedent. If it does do anything, I think it does send that strong signal to developers to think about the development they're doing and think about the modern development that a developer might be doing and make sure they're catering to the modern needs of a thriving regional city like Dubbo.
Thank you.
Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.